So if you've struggled to lose weight, the biggest thing I want you to understand is you're far from alone. In fact, I don't even know you, but if I was a gambling man, I'd probably say you've lost weight only to end up regaining it, as keeping the weight off is probably even the hardest part. So what I want to do today is help you by showing you some of the most common things I see as to why you may be struggling to lose weight and how to finally keep it off. Alright, jumping right into things, while this list is in no particular order, I will say this first one is a huge, extremely common reason why people end up not being able to lose weight, and that is being way too focused on the speed of your result. Rushing the process not only has a lot of implications mentally, but also physiologically as well. The more pressure you put on the speed of the result, the more likely you are to feel like you're failing, like things aren't going the way they should. It gets you down mentally. The more down you are, the harder of the time you have sticking to the plan. The worse you stick to the plan, the worse your results are going to end up being, and it turns into this vicious cycle. But not only that, the faster you're going to lose weight, the more extreme you're going to have to be with your plan, the less calories you're going to be able to eat, the less flexibility you're going to have in your diet, the more your hormones and metabolism are going to adapt down to this, making the process even harder. It's just nothing good comes from trying to rush the process. So please remember, there's no such thing as just being done. This literally has to be a lifestyle. We don't just say this stuff. It actually has to be a lifestyle if you're ever going to keep your results. So you have to do this forever. It doesn't mean low calories forever and crush yourself forever, but it does mean you're always going to have to get regular exercise and pay attention to your nutrition and not just kind of do whatever the heck you want. And it can't just be this mad dash to the finish line so you can be done and then just go back to the way things were, because if you do that, you will gain the weight back. So if you have the rest of your life to go, then what's the need to get there so much faster, especially when it's going to make the process that much more miserable? So slow down. Speaking of results, another common reason people struggle to lose weight is because they're constantly changing what they're doing based on the result they're getting. Didn't lose weight for 4 days? Whoop, I better drop my calories now. Or maybe you're seeing really good results finally, so you go, well, now I can back off because I'm seeing good results, so now I can eat more. It's like, no, follow that plan until it stops working, and then adjust the plan. However, you gotta give it time. A few days means nothing. You gotta give it at least 2 to 3 weeks of seeing no results before knowing that you've hit a plateau, and then you can make some changes, but also understand it's not just about the number on the scale. You can see changes in pictures and measurements, how your clothes are fitting. You'll get compliments from other people noticing that there's changes happening. There's all kinds of signs as physical progress is happening beyond just the scale numbers, so don't get too caught up in that. But whatever you do, don't allow your emotions to change the plan. Follow the plan until it stops working. Now this next one goes very much in line with the first one, but that is following unsustainable plans, trying to get a result probably faster, but just what you determine to be the best without considering if it's something you can keep doing in the long run. What I mean by that is some sort of extreme diet, eliminating all your favorite foods, feeling like you have to do extreme amounts of exercise, things that you're just doing in the short term to try to get the best results possible without even considering what you're going to do whenever that plan's done. So you're much better off learning how to include foods you enjoy in your diet so that you can keep doing it, so you don't end up binging because you feel so restricted. And as much as it oftentimes seems counterintuitive, it's not about completely changing your life around 180. Making small changes over a longer period of time will add up to huge changes as long as you keep going and stop giving up. So instead of looking for the most extreme plan, crash diet, run yourself into the ground plan, start looking for a plan that seems like the least restrictive to you, which that's going to be different for everybody, but it's certainly not about being perfect, and I'll talk about the perfectionist mindset in a moment. But first I wanted to mention, if you struggle with all this stuff, if you never know what to do, if you feel like you're always making mistakes, then I do offer online coaching where I can walk you through the process myself. I'll be there with you every step of the way. I'll tell you not only what to do, but be there when you get too emotional and help you work through the mental struggles that come with this. So if you're interested in getting help, go to my website, ColinDeWaayTraining.com. There's a link in the description. You can go in, fill out the application. I will shoot a video going over that application, email it to you. If you don't see that response within 24 hours, that means it went to your spam, and check there. And I'd love to help you take the guesswork out of it and finally get you where you want to be. Okay, the perfectionist mindset. Maybe this is you. Very common thing, and it's an absolute disaster. It's not going to work. You cannot have the all or nothing mindset if you ever want to get there, because there's no way you can be perfect and all on all the time every day for the rest of your life. So you want to stop falling into, well, I made a mistake, so what's the point? And then just completely giving up. I see it all the time. Someone will lose 50 pounds and then have one day where they ended up eating a bunch of pizza and ice cream and maybe soaked it down with a bunch of beer, and they feel like, man, I just screwed up all my hard work. Everything was literally for nothing, and I might as well just give up now. I've already just completely wrecked myself. You cannot screw anything up at all. It's literally impossible to screw everything up, especially in just one day, right? Like, you didn't lose 50 pounds just to gain 50 pounds back in one day. There's no way. It's about getting back on track. I don't care if it's a day, a weekend, a week, or even a month. There's nothing you can do that is insurmountable and you can't come back from. But it all starts with being kinder to yourself. The overjudgment you give to yourself is killing you. You need to start talking to yourself like you talk to your friends. If your friend made the mistake and said, I screwed up, I stopped exercising for a week, and I did nothing but binge on cookies and ice cream, what would you tell them? You would probably say, well, no big deal, just get back on track and everything will be fine. But when it's yourself, it's, I have now just screwed up everything. All is for loss. Why am I like this? Why do I keep screwing up? This is what I've always done, so it's just going to keep happening. Why do I even try? I give up. No, do not do that. Keep moving forward. You're going to make mistakes. And I'm not saying if you make mistakes, you will make mistakes. It's going to happen. That's okay. We learn from them. We grow. We keep moving forward. And I promise you don't have to be perfect to get the results you want. Speaking of perfectionism, weekends are a serious struggle. Maybe for you, it certainly is for a lot of people, but I promise you again, weekends won't screw everything up. And in fact, I'm not even saying that you can't go out and just have more calories on the weekend, but you want to account for it. This whole like cheat meal, cheat day where you just kind of go crazy on the weekends and then get back on track during the week and then can never see results, that's a problem. But accounting for it and allowing more calories on the weekend is a very reasonable plan that helps it be more sustainable. Already talked about how important that is and can help you get there. So what I mean by that is, let's say for instance, your calories were 2,000 calories per day, and maybe you do 2,000 calories 5 days a week, but then you have 2 days where you completely blow it out. It ends up being 4 or 5, maybe even 6,000 calories a day. Well, you've just undone all of your deficit throughout the week and you're netting no progress, if not even going backwards. But what if you, instead of doing that, ate 1,800 calories 5 days a week and then had 2 days of 2,500 calories? Your average calories for the week is still exactly the same. It's just you're splitting up how you consume those calories, and it's always the weekly average that's way more important than any singular day. And you can have ups and downs within those days as well, as long as that balance of the average is working out. So yes, you can enjoy your weekends and still get results, but if you're just completely YOLOing it and struggling, that's probably going to make it very difficult. So even if you aren't tracking, just make sure you're keeping it reasonable and not falling into, well, it's the weekend, screw it, and then going crazy. Now, very similarly to the unaccounted for weekends, a common reason for people not to see results is not accounting for things accurately. A lot of extra bites and nibbles and licks and tastes that aren't being accounted for, that you didn't weigh out, or not even measuring out any of your food and just eyeballing portion sizes. And these calories can add up so fast. I mean, creamers and coffees and the extra ketchup that you don't think is a big deal. Have you ever actually looked at ketchup and what a serving of ketchup looks like? It's nothing. So yeah, it's only 20 calories, but your serving of ketchup is probably more like 5 servings, which is 100 calories. So you have 100 calories here and 50 calories there and 200 calories there. Pretty soon you're eating 600-700 calories more than you think and wondering why you can't get results. So until you've taken the time to measure out food consistently to see what portion sizes look like and create that knowledge base where you can be more intuitive, you want to take the time to measure. Now, I know a lot of people don't like measuring, and maybe you don't either, but you think it's time consuming, but it's really not. I mean, if you really think about it, it usually takes, 20-30 seconds to weigh out an item of food, if even that. It doesn't take a whole lot of time, but the difference that it will make is huge. And also consider there's a big difference between being off in weight in, say, broccoli versus peanut butter. If you're off 30-40 grams of broccoli, you're only gonna be off like 10-15 calories. Whereas if you're off by 30-40 grams of peanut butter, you're talking probably 200-300 calories that are being unaccounted for. So at least measuring out the foods that are more calorie dense can go a long ways. And one of the biggest killers is just over dieting. dieting all the time. On again, off again, crash diet, diet for every event under the sun. You got a wedding coming up and an anniversary and a reunion and a vacation and the summer. Like there's always something to diet for, so you're constantly dieting. But what that does is it runs your metabolism into the ground. It puts up your body's self-defense mechanism against starvation and makes it practically impossible to lose weight. So if you found yourself dieting all the time for years and years and years, yeah, it's gonna be pretty dang hard to lose weight. So you need to give the body time away from dieting to heal your metabolism and get back into a better place. We usually do this through a process called reverse dieting. That's a topic for a different video. This video is long enough. I've got plenty of videos on that topic, but just make sure you're not constantly dieting. Now, is there something that you noticed about all these different things I said? The majority of them didn't have anything to do with what you should do to lose weight. It had everything to do with up here. The mindset is by far and away the biggest battle when it comes to losing weight and keeping it off. And an unhealthy relationship with food is one of the biggest culprits keeping you in this all or nothing mentality. So if you feel like you have an unhealthy relationship with food, make sure you check out this top video next, and it should help show you how to get your relationship with food back into a better place so you can not only enjoy foods that you like and get results, but also just be happier in general. Otherwise, I think you'll like this bottom video instead, and I'll see you in that other video.